Hey everybody, another video. It is Friday night out in the shop. Got a little bit of a later start. Been out here 3 hours or so. It's a little after 10 o'clock. I'm going to call it a night here, but want to give you guys a video here tonight first. Last Saturday evening, I was able to get epoxy primer, Eastwood epoxy primer, on the Model A project, and I'll be the first one to tell you I abused the product. I should not have put on so much, and I'm kind of paying the price now. It's dry now, but it clogs really bad, so I'm not sure if it's just too much film build or if this I haven't really used it a whole lot as a primer that I'm going to sand. It's usually like a sealer before I put whatever on it, you know. But I put 3 coats on this thing, and it's not meant to be a filler primer, but it's working really good as a filler primer. The catch is I had to wet sand. So I'll give you a look at what I got done here. I just did the major flats. Back up here a little bit here. Just did the major flats because I had sags. It looked horrible. It really did, but I worked those out. These areas here that you see that are still dark are low spots, either in the filler or they are pits in the original steel of the car, which there are plenty of. But what I ended up doing, the way I like to wet sand is most guys like a bucket, you know, a bucket of water and a block and whatever. I hate that. I always end up kicking the bucket over, making a mess. I don't like doing that. So I actually use foaming glass cleaner, spray away. There's spray away glass cleaner. And the way I did this, because it doesn't really matter, is I actually went over this first with 80 grit on a DA with glass cleaner. Went over all them spots, got my runs shaved out. There was plenty of them. They all came out really nice, and this is like velvety smooth. A couple spots here that are a little rough. Obviously these spots that you see are metal poking out. These are some of the filler poking out. Nothing I'm going to be concerned about. Here's a good example. You can see this is actually pits in the metal. I remember I don't think there was filler here, but either way, those will fill. I'll give them a swipe of glaze, and if the glaze doesn't take, then it's just going to be filler primer, actual filler primer gray. Here, this one I know for sure is filler because it's showing through it here. If you look at the texture, this is unsanded. This pebbly, this is actually the pits in that original metal. And I didn't even try to sand on any of this tonight. My concern was the flat spots. So I got this all buzzed down with 80 on a DA wet, and then 120 on a DA wet. And you know, there's fine tuning that needs to be done, hand sanding. This area right here doesn't really matter because it gets covered, but I didn't want runs in there, obviously. I'm going to have some touch-up work. This will all have to be done. I'm either going to have to make some kind of a little wooden block for these contours, or I'm going to have to use like a paint stick or a little piece of like PVC wrapped in foam or something for those areas. Those will take a lot longer than 3 hours, I'm sure. But everything's coming out pretty darn good. This side looks nice. Again, low spot. I think I showed you that already. I had it quite warm in here all week. I actually kept it about 80 degrees in here all week to kind of get this thing cured out. It doesn't smell in here like primer to me, which means that I think it's done gassing. I didn't do anything with the cowl, but there is a spot. Right, yeah. But next stage is going to be regular body filler or glaze. Show you this side here. You know, again, I knew this spot was there, but it's just easier to see everything. when it's in some primer. So this side here, same deal. A little spot there where it's still shiny. A little bit right there. Not bad, but I mean overall I'm very, very pleased with how this is coming out. Let's see, like this. I mean, it's actually way, way better than I expected it to be or intended it to be, but I'm far from done. I have all of this top part to do, which will be a lot of work. I have the whole dash panel to do, which you can see the pits. I'm gonna either have to fill them or prime the shit out of them, and clean up the firewall and the tunnel. And I have 40 hours in this thing right now. 41 hours as of tonight I have in this, just what you're looking at. So these guys who tell you they can build a car in 3 months while working full time, they're full of shit. So at least I think they are. Maybe you guys can, but I don't know. I have a life, so again, still have the whole pile of parts to do, which those aren't really all that bad. The doors will probably be the worst. Well, I know the doors are going to be the worst. But I want to get this thing to the next stage. Not necessarily ready for paint, but to the next step, which might actually be direct-to-metal surfacer. And I thought I would get everything else ready for epoxy, but I don't think I'm going to give this another coat of epoxy. It doesn't need it. There's not that much bare metal showing, and if I use my direct-to-metal surfacer, I'll be fine. So I'm seriously thinking that this is just going to get obviously another round of filler as needed. And again, I'm not worrying about the back panel. I'm not overly concerned about the firewall. Dash is going to take me some time. And then from that body bead, that bead in the body up, that's going to take a while too. I would say at least, oh god, probably 8 hours, probably a full day on just that stuff, from there up. So anyhow, getting closer, looking good. I'm real happy with it so far. I can see some things that I forgot. I can see some stuff that I overlooked. But it's not too early to fix stuff like that. And I'm trying not to get too fussy. Obviously, I'm not that fussy right now. But, I mean, there's probably guys out there that are watching this right now that are probably cringing. And that's fine, guys. This ain't for everybody. You know, and I'm not telling you I'm the best thing ever, because I'm certainly not. But I can see progress in the right direction, and that is satisfying. So so there you go. There's a lot of work on the firewall to do. This is going to get bed liner, as is the inside and the underneath, but it still needs to be presentable, because I will probably tape a line, you know, somewhere on this bead once it is done ish. Again, it's not going to be perfect, but that won't get done. I don't know when I'm going to do that, because I might have to actually do that. I'll probably have to do that before it's actually painted, which maybe I'll just paint the firewall then. I don't know. It all is going to depend on if I'm painting it on the frame or not, which I'd rather not. It's a lot more masking and I'll have to settle on some pallets or something, get it off the ground good. But lots to do, nowhere near done. Got 40 hours in it now. I expect to have 200 hours in this thing before it's actually done. And going back on a frame and getting wired and plumbed, and yeah, I'll have 200 hours in this thing. 150 to 200 hours for sure. So yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna clean up a little bit and shut her down for the night. Be back. I plan to be back out here tomorrow afternoon. We'll see what happens. And yeah, that's it. Happy St. Patty's Day. Hope you guys are gonna do something fun. This is my fun, so yay. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll bring another one on Saturday night. And thanks for the likes and the comments. I really enjoy the comments. It's good feedback. It's great motivation. So thanks, guys. We'll see you later.